Clements Homebrew coming at ya. Okay, we've got a beer. I needed a light beer. So what do I have? I've got a beer that came to me from the Canadian Sasquatch Brewery. That's right, it came to me out of Texas, and it is a Texas beer, as you can see. It's from St. Arnold's, and it is the Bohemian Pils. That's right, it's a Pilsner. So it's going to be, the style is going to be a Bohemian or like a Czech style Pilsner. It is 5.2 ABV and 33 IBUs. Now, there's some unique things about this. This has one malt and one hop. It's just Pilsner malts and Saaz hops in this. But there's more to it. They use a decoction mash. So what that does during the mashing process is some of those sugars are caramelized, and so it makes it a little bit darker, and it also makes it so the sugars will not ferment, so you get a little more residual sugar flavors as well. So it's a cool process. I've used it myself. I actually really like that process, and it does some wonderful things for a variety of beers. So let's get this one cracked open. All right, I'm using a proper Pilsner glass for this, which means we're going to get a nice full 2-finger head on there, and you can see those bubbles rising on up. I love Pilsner glasses. That's the only way to drink a Pilsner. And it's a nice pillowy, thick pillowy head, just the slightest off-white, basically a white head on there. Let's get a nose on it. It has some classic Pilsner aromas, actually, but there is a little more residual sweetness on this as well, I can tell. But you get definitely a bit of that hay, that hay grass scent on it, which is really wonderful. And a nice malty scent on this as well. A little bit of the spiciness from the Saaz hops, a little bit of floral, slightly bready on there. You could almost describe the scent as a little bit being like grape. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just that nice little spicy sweetness that you get off of Pilsner. Very, very much Pilsner malt. So let's give it a try. Cheers. Oh, that's nice. I have to say that's a really nice Pilsner. And what makes it nice is that little bit of residual sweetness is really good. It gives it almost like the slightest honey-esque type taste to it. I like that. Wow. Classic Pilsner malts though. Classic hoppiness. Might even be just a tad more hop on it than you would normally get. The Saaz hops have a nice floral, this light bit of spiciness and earthiness to it. And it really captures that well. But I think they hop it more than a Bohemian Pilsner or Czech Pilsner for sure. Yeah, the little bit of caramelization in there just really adds some nice flavor to this. It gives it a little bit more of a biscuity, bready type flavor as well, which is nice. And you have just the lightest bit of like a pepper to it. Wow, this is really well made, very pleasing. Look, it's already leaving some nice lacing on the glass. That's pleasing alone. All right, I'm gonna take a little time with this and we'll come back and rate it. That was a great break. I went out and watched some videos of some of you watching, and I can tell you this is a great 5.2% ABV Pilsner. I'm really enjoying this one. I really think that decoction mash made a big difference. That little bit of residual sweetness, maybe slightly more high on the hoppy side. I'm loving it. It tastes really good. All right, so let's say a Czech style, Bohemian style Pilsner. It really has all those qualities, just with just a hint more of sweetness and caramelization. But I'm really loving it. For style, I think it's a great beer myself. I think for style, I've got to give it an 89. I think it's the high end of a B+. I'm just really loving it. And for personal, although I'm not a huge Pilsner fan, now mind you, I don't normally rate Pilsners any more than C or C+ grades, honestly. But I think for my overallness, I'm still really liking it. I'm not going to give it the 89, but it's certainly going to be in the 80s. And I think I'll just give it a straight up B. 85. I think this is a great beer. This would be an easy go-to beer for when I want a light beer. It really would. It would be a good one. Now, I usually like hoppier beers, but this is a really good Pilsner. So, all right, Canadian Sasquatch, you were right. This is a great, easy drinking beer. This is one that you can have quite a few of, not have to worry about it. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you can find it, this is what you're looking for. This is the Bohemian Pils from St. Arnold's Brewery out of Houston, Texas. And it's a good beer. I think you'll enjoy it. This is Kevin from Clement's Homebrew saying, life is too short to drink cheap beer. I don't know, this might be cheap. But I'll see you in the next beer review. That we know. Cheers.